Hello, coolers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with outcast defender Samuel Umtiti. It has been reported that Umtiti is pushing to join his former team, Olympique Lyonnais, before the summer transfer window comes to a close. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Nico Gonzalez, whose move to Valencia is already finalized. It has been revealed that the Barcelona midfielder did ask for Xavi's permission twice before leaving. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it, do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're a lover of FC Barcelona, please also consider liking the video and watch it right up to the very end. It's very much understood that Samuel Umtiti's services are no longer required at Barcelona. The player is aware of the situation at hand and why there are concrete offers from Italy and Turkey. Sport says he is trying to rejoin his former employer Olympique Lyonnais before the transfer window slams shut. The 28-year-old out-of-favor defender knows Lyon are looking for a new central defender, which has more or less convinced him that there would be an ideal ecosystem for him to resurrect his declining career. But while the player is seemingly excited about the move, the team from France's Ligue 1 has decided to explore other options instead. So far, Lyon have decided to acquire their former players who burst onto the Saints from their own backyard. This is made evident by the return of Corentin Tolisso from Bayern Munich and Alexander Lacazette from Arsenal. Interestingly enough, both of them have arrived on a free transfer. The report says both Tolisso and Lacazette are great friends with Umtiti and would welcome him with open arms. But Lyon are having serious reservations about the player's physical condition. For Barcelona, they remain calm about the entire situation, despite the fact that his departure would open up a lot of free space in terms of finances. But since the Barcelona management has a good working relationship with the player's representative, they understand the defender is doing everything possible to leave in the summer. Hence, if he somehow manages to find a suitor, Barcelona will agree to terminate the contract bond which runs until 2026. This means the 28-year-old is doing everything in his power to facilitate the return to his former club in France. He knows the team still hasn't found an ideal central defender, meaning that he's still hoping for a move to materialize. It has been a very difficult time for Umtiti at FC Barcelona. He has been surplus to requirements for the longest time. Barca have been pushing so hard to see that an exit for Umtiti materializes, but that have not prevailed. Of course, not like Barca have not seen suitors. In the past, we have been talking about a lot of clubs showing interest in Umtiti, but at the end of the day, that interest just fade away because you start hearing excuses like his injury record is too bad, this and that. Of course, which is really understandable because many clubs won't go for a player with doubts or with a lot of uncertainties about his fitness levels. So Umtiti have still been there. Barca have sold a couple of players, a bunch of fringe players, but Umtiti and Martin Braithwaite are still those two out-of-favor stars who are still there in the squad. So a recent report on his future is claiming that the Barca defender is pushing to join his former team, Olympique Lyonnais. Of course, he left Olympique Lyonnais to join FC Barcelona back in 2016. So he's looking to a return. But unfortunately for him, they are saying that Lyon are not really prioritizing any move or any return for Samuel Umtiti. But the player is waiting, hopefully, that he will go back there. But of course, we have been hearing reports that clubs from Turkey are showing serious interest in Umtiti. Even clubs from the Serie A, they are showing interest in him, but nothing serious on that. So it is expected that Umtiti departs the Camp Nou before the transfer window comes to a close because Barca really need departures to balance their books, and Umtiti have to depart. Of course, Umtiti has a contract until 2026, but that should not be an issue, right? He did sign an extension back in January, but it was not just an extension for staying at the club to have to be part of the squad, but it was just an extension to ease registration of some players like Ferran Torres and Aubameyang, who could not be registered at that time. So let's see how it goes. But Umtiti is widely expected to depart the Camp Nou. So a move to Olympique Lyon, his former club, is being muted, but the club itself is not really keen on that. But they are saying that Lacazette and Tolisso, who have just recently returned to the club, are good friends of Umtiti, and they are pushing for the player to stay patient that a move can still materialize. Then on to the next story of discussion. Nico Gonzalez's temporary departure to fellow La Liga side Valencia is being looked upon as a rather brave gesture. For once, it is the player himself who decided to move in order to gain prominence in the Barcelona squad for the next decade. And in that regard, he had to convince his manager Xavi a lot to convince the green signal for the transfer. As reported by TV3, it took time, two attempts to finalize his move to Valencia. This first time he went with the proposal, Xavi decided to retain him as he wanted to see how he would perform in pre-season club friendlies. As it turns out, he was rather used as an alternative to a certain Sergio Busquets in midfield. However, with Miralem Pjanic now gaining ground, it became evident that Nico had to find a new team to get regular minutes. Hence, by the time he went for a follow-up, Xavi understood the situation and decided to give his transfer a chance. The manager believed it was brave for the young midfielder to understand what is good for his career. He is of the opinion that playing under one of the finest defensive midfielders of all time, Gennaro Gattuso at Valencia, would help him develop defensive skills and would further help him in his Barca career in the long run. For now, the midfield options Xavi has at his disposal are stacked to the core. The likes of Pedri, Gavi, Busquets are expected to be the first choice trio, as Frankie de Jong, Kessie, Pjanic will complete the perfect roster. Therefore, the only viable option for Nico was to move to fellow La Liga side, and finding a place in Valencia's starting 11, would help him his cause big time. Furthermore, he may also catch the eyes of Spanish head coach Luis Enrique. Nico is expected to sign his new loan contract with Valencia in the coming hours. At the same time, his representatives are also working on a new Barcelona deal, as his current deal ends in 2024. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.